What's going on, everybody? It is your local coach Dylan coming at you again with another nutrition tip. As you can see, I am here in the office, aka my bedroom, which is probably similar to a lot of you guys at home as well during this stay-at-home order. But before we jump right into this nutrition tip, be sure to drop down, go ahead and hit that like button as well as subscribe. It really helps me out and shows me that you guys are enjoying all of this content. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into it. Today we are talking about calories. Now, what even are calories? Where are we finding these calories? And how can we calculate those calories to meet your individual nutrition goals at home? Now, first off, what even are calories? It's kind of like gluten. A lot of people in the fitness or nutrition industry talk about it all the time, but you'd be surprised with how many people don't even know the full story. Basically, calories are the unit of measurement of energy in all the foods that you eat. Typically, when you hear of calories or counting calories, people are trying to reduce the amount of calories, thus reducing the amount of energy that is provided through their food. This way, they're forcing their body to make up the energy from what is stored within, aka fat, and then burning that, essentially trading that fat for energy. Now, I will preface this, in this video today, we are not going to be talking about the specifics of fat loss and how you're using calories and manipulating them for fat loss, because honestly, there is so much that goes into that that really deserves its whole own video just by itself. Now let me know exactly what calories are, basically the energy that's found in food. Where are we finding these calories? Basically, we're talking about macronutrients. This is the proteins, the carbs, and the fat. So to break this down simply, you're going to want to remember 4, 4, and 9. Now this refers to 4 calories per gram of protein, 4 calories per gram of carbohydrates, same thing, and then finally 9 calories per gram of fat. So go ahead and check this example of a nutrition label. You can see how they break it down into those grams of fat, grams of carbohydrates, and then grams of protein. You probably already guessed it, but we're going to do some quick multiplications. We're just going to take that 4, 4, and 9 and then multiply it respectively. So once you've done that, you now can start to see the calories that you're getting from each one of those nutrients. The nutrition label already does break this down for us, but I think it's important for you to understand how they got to that number and also how to do that in case you don't have a nutrition label, so that when you're creating your own meals at home, you can calculate your own calories. Now, to wrap it all up, to finish it out here, we're going to figure out how to use this information to roughly calculate those calories based off of your own nutrition goals. This is where it does actually start to get a little complicated, I will admit, but we're going to break it down into 3 or 4 simple steps here. Step number 1 is to choose a total calorie goal or allowance for that day. I'm going to be using the total calories of 2,000. Now this is going to be pretty close to what you guys might be using at home, give or take about 500 calories. Again, this is all just for the purpose of the example. Once you have that total calorie number in mind, go ahead and now step number 2 is going to be choosing the percent breakdown of those total calories. Like I said, I was using 2,000 as my total day, and now I'm going to break that down into 45%, 35%, and 20%. What I mean by this is remembering those macronutrients, the protein, the carbs, and the fats. We want to now break down that total calorie number into the percent of each of those macronutrients making up that total number. I know this is a little complicated, but you can follow along here and see that this means that, again, 45% of those calories are coming from carbohydrates, 35% is coming from protein, and then finally that 20% of calories is coming from fat. So you should start to see a little bit of this breakdown, and again, all of these numbers are just for the purpose of this example. Alright, so we have our total daily calories. We've broken that down into percents of each macronutrient. And now finally, we're going to kind of tie it all up and answer all these unanswered questions, which is, well, how many calories is 45% of 2,000? Same thing of 35% and 20%. So this will now give you the calories per macronutrient that makes up that total day. So once you've done all of those calculations real quick, final step is going to divide it by that 4, 4, and 9 again, respectively. So once you started with those total calories, broken it down into that percent, and now finished it off with the calories, and then now we have the grams. So you can see a little bit of how that breaks down. I encourage you guys to go ahead and swap out some numbers for maybe what fits your needs best, but you can start to see how it really breaks down into a couple simple steps, just using some information that is relatively easy to pick up on. I encourage you to go ahead and grab some nutrition labels and then go back, rewatch, rewind, or even pause parts of this video with those nutrition labels to go ahead and follow along. I have no doubt that you guys will be able to pick this up in no time. With all that said, be sure to drop down and like the video if you enjoyed. Comment any sort of topics or questions you might have. I'd be happy to continue to make videos breaking those things down for you. And finally, subscribe with that bell rung for notifications whenever I post these new videos so you can follow along. Take it easy, team. I'll see you next time. Peace.